When Maya met David, he had an idea and a laptop, nothing else. She had connections in tech, a background in operations, a savings account, and she had feelings for him. So when he said he wanted to start a company, she didn't hesitate. She quit her job, moved into a smaller apartment to stretch her savings, spent 18 months building infrastructure while he pitched to investors. She wrote the operations manual from scratch, hired the first team, fought with David over every salary because she was funding it from her own accounts, negotiated contracts with vendors who didn't want to work with a startup, set up the financial systems, built the culture. And he got the byline, the founder title, the articles in tech publications. David's vision changes everything. How David scaled to 7 figures in 18 months. One article mentioned her once, in the second-to-last paragraph, with support from early team member Maya Chen. When the first round of funding came in, $2 million, there was a cap table, a document outlining who owned what. She wasn't on it. They were sitting in his apartment. She'd brought the document printed out. She was shaking a little. He looked at it like he was confused, like she'd caught him making a typo. He said, "Maya, I'm so sorry. That was completely an oversight. The lawyers moved fast and I didn't catch it. We'll fix it next round, I promise. You know I wouldn't do this intentionally." She wanted to believe him, so she did. Next round came, 8 months later, $5 million valuation, Series A funding. She asked David about the cap table the week before the lawyers were supposed to finalize everything. He said they'd handle it, said he was busy with investor relations, said to trust him. She didn't push. She trusted him. By year 3, the company was valued at $40 million. David owned 40%. His original investors owned 55%. There were 4 other early employees on the cap table. Maya owned nothing. She was cleaning out her email one afternoon, old project folders, financial records from the early days, when she found something. A folder labeled Pre-Company, emails from before the company officially launched. Emails between David and the lead investor, the very first one, dated 8 months before Maya had even agreed to join full-time. "I'm bringing in a business partner to handle operations. She'll think she's building equity, but we'll structure it so she never actually gets on the cap table. Once the company takes off, I'll phase her out or buy her out cheap. She won't know the difference." The investor had replied the same day. "Brilliant! Frame it as a gift when you finally add her. Make her grateful for whatever scraps you throw." And David had written back, already planning the narrative. She's too nice to push back anyway. That email chain was sent 8 months before Maya even knew he wanted to start a company. She didn't confront him, didn't cry, didn't post screenshots. She called a lawyer, and she scheduled a meeting with the board, without telling David. She brought every email, every contract she'd negotiated, every piece of documentation showing what she'd built, salary records proving she'd funded the company's first year out of her own account. She also brought a document from a lawyer, a sharp one, someone who understood IP law, an agreement stating that the foundational work she'd done, the operations, the infrastructure, the first hires, the culture systems, constituted intellectual property she had created, and that she was entitled to either equity retroactively or a significant buyout, millions of dollars. She brought the folder of emails too, but she didn't mention it, just set it on the table. The board meeting lasted 3 hours. The first 30 minutes was David presenting quarterly metrics. The next 30 was the board asking questions about operations. Then the board chair, a woman named Patricia, interrupted. "Why isn't Maya on the cap table?" David froze. He started explaining about the lawyers moving fast, about oversights, about promising to fix it next round. "You promised to fix it last round, and the round before that. I have emails from you dating back 4 years where you committed to adding her. Why hasn't that happened?" David didn't have a good answer. Patricia looked at the folder Maya had left on the table. "Is that what I think it is?" Maya just nodded. Patricia opened it, read the first email, handed it to the other board members without saying a word. The room was silent for a full minute. "David, we need to talk. Separately." Within 2 weeks, Maya had equity, 13%, vested over 4 years, but with a significant portion released immediately. The board also required David to issue a public statement crediting her role in the company's founding, a real one, not a mention in the second-to-last paragraph. And there was one more thing, a clause in David's own employment contract stating that any future equity grants required board approval, which meant the board was watching him now. She still works there. She and David don't speak unless it's about business. The tension is awkward, but it's controlled. He knows she was documenting everything. He knows she'd do it again. Every time there's a board meeting, when her name comes up next to his on the cap table, she knows exactly what it cost him to put her there. And that's worth more than the equity itself. If this story resonated with you, subscribe for more real stories about people who fought back. New videos every week on Truth Comes Out.